If the conclusion is that it hasn't worked, then we'll scrap it.
Tonight, Coin 6 investigates whether Portland's law, which forces developers to include affordable housing in new projects, has actually backfired. The city trying to figure out if the inclusionary housing law is one of those things with good intentions that's also had unintended consequences.
And how about this? Has it made the housing crisis worse? Our investigator Dan Tilkin is here to help answer that. Dan, the mayor agrees this is a big concern.
He does. Now, the inclusionary housing law was passed well before the pandemic, and the homeless crisis and crime put Portland on its heels. One of the city's strategies for getting back on its feet is more affordable housing. But right now, the city is reviewing whether its laws have done what some developers claim stifled housing development.
Today is your chance to live up to the promise of livability.
Portland's inclusionary housing law was born at the end of 2016 when people pleaded with the city council to get a handle on skyrocketing housing costs.
I'm spending more than 90% of my monthly income on rent. And when that became unsustainable, for the past year I've been homeless, living on the streets of the city of Portland.
The plan? Require developers to include affordable housing in new projects like this one, and give them benefits like tax exemptions.
There's only one reason why this tool was banned outright in 1999 at the state level. Profits were valued higher than people.
Some warned it could backfire.
We just have to be careful that we get it right, and it can be a cautionary tale if we don't.
These are tough choices. We don't want to err in either direction.
It passed unanimously and later altered. Currently, it forces developers who build projects of 20 more units make 20% of the units meet affordability standards. Affordable means the rent must be set at 80% of median income or below. Developers have the option of only doing 10% of the units at affordable rates if they drop the income threshold to 60%. Two other options are to pay a fee instead, or build the affordable housing at a different location. But the word affordable doesn't mean cheap. The city says based on the current local median incomes, an affordable one-bedroom rent is still almost $1,600 a month, or $1,900 for a two-bedroom. Some people tied to the development world say the inclusionary housing law is one of the factors hindering development.
Inclusionary zoning, unfortunately, if the intentions were good to, provide more affordable housing, it's been a failure, and it's very hard to underwrite in regards to how you're going to finance a project to go forward.
They don't have a clue.
Barriers to development, including inclusionary housing and the city's slow permitting process, were among the topics discussed at a January symposium of the commercial real estate group called Revitalize Portland.
Everything's about affordability, and almost every housing affordability we do makes housing less affordable.
So all of a sudden, living in your one bedroom in Portland was a lot less affordable than it should be.
Kayla Wardenberg's company compiled this chart showing the number of permits submitted for multifamily housing projects in the city of Portland of 50 or more units. It shows them plummeting after 2017 when the inclusionary housing law began. I took the concerns to the mayor.
One thing they all said is the Portland's inclusionary housing requirement has backfired.
I think it's a very sound theory. The question is, did we get the balancing act right between the incentives and the cost of development of that affordable housing? If we didn't get the balance right, then the incentive isn't strong enough for developers to want to develop the housing in the first place.
The city says there's a shortage right now of 25,000 affordable housing units, even after this list of 169 inclusionary housing projects since 2017.
We have about 1,004 homes that wouldn't otherwise have been built through this policy.
Sam Diaz of 1,000 Friends of Oregon is one of 10 people on a city council-funded work group studying the effectiveness of the inclusionary housing program. So far, he says, the group has heard success stories, but has not heard from developers who have not been able to overcome funding obstacles.
Stories of failure because of the policy. And so we would invite, and I would love to see that kind of data submitted to the advisory committee and to the Housing Bureau, the expenses that the developer had, the revenue, the financing the developer lined up, but the make or break was the inclusionary housing policy.
Have you not gotten that kind of evidence?
We haven't seen that kind of data presented to the committee.
Another unknown: how has development been affected by so many things that have happened since the law was passed? The pandemic, interest rate hikes, changes to the tax code, construction costs, supply chain problems, and labor shortages.
I think we will never know if this is the policy to blame for this or not.
And I've pledged that if it needs to be tweaked, we'll tweak it. If the conclusion is that it hasn't worked, then we'll scrap it. But rather than just using anecdotal evidence, I'd actually like to see what the facts are. We've had some developers use it very successfully, and they say it works really well. We've had other developers say it was a deal breaker when I tried to go out and get funders for my project. So I want to take a deeper dive and look at the facts before we come to a conclusion.
So the conclusion was supposed to happen in April, but the work group has extended the study for 2 more months. That's to compensate for a change in leadership in the Housing Bureau when it was transferred from Commissioner Dan Ryan to Carmen Rubio. Now, the recommendations from the work group will likely come after their July meeting.
Yeah, Dan, you know, you talked about this law being passed 7 years ago. Look at everything that's changed. You talked about the economics, interest rates, construction costs, the pandemic. How does that figure into all this?
Well, that's one of the reasons they also extended it 2 more months, because things are so different now. If we were in normal times and you had this inclusionary housing law, you could isolate for that factor. But now you have all these other variables. How do you isolate for that law in itself? That is a problem.
Okay, and the stack of papers you're holding, you said there's something interesting about
well,
that.
169 projects here that have succeeded. I've been going through this list, calling and calling and calling developers saying, tell me your story, how did you do it? And so far, nobody has said yes. So if there's somebody out there who did it, we would love to interview them.
Okay, great.
Project since 2017.
Right.
Wow. All right. Dan, thank you for that.
Yeah, great story and great perspective, Dan.